welcome to 2 Cents by Nishtha Bhatnagar. I want to begin today by telling you a story. So once there was a blind man who lived in a village. However, when he stepped out at night, he would always do so with a lamp. Now a group of young boys were visiting the village and they saw the blind man one night with a lamp. It wasn't difficult to guess that the man couldn't see, and so they started laughing at him and mocking him for the lamp. They said, "When you can't tell the difference between light and dark, why carry the lamp?" So the blind man responded, "I do it for people like you." The boys looked surprised and asked him why he carried a lamp for them. And the man said, "So that you don't hurt yourself in the dark by running into me, since I can't see where I'm going." The boys were ashamed of judging the blind man. We human beings also are experts at making snap judgments. As a matter of fact, we're constantly judging either ourselves or others. It's like we're tuned to judge all the time. Now, a couple of days back, I was doing this meditation course, and in one of the day's lessons, we were asked to practice to stop judging others. We were told that we should not judge at all. And if we decided not to judge, we would only be more peaceful and happy and also feel more abundant. It seemed easy at first, but the more the day went by, I realized how much I was judging people and situations every single second. I was either thinking highly of people or poorly of them. And mostly, because I'm a fairly self-aware person, I was thinking poorly of them. Now, I'm glad I decided to be present to this ongoing pattern of behavior, because then I thought a little more. And one of the big things that appeared to me was that every time we judge, we either operate from a place of inferiority or superiority, which is to say that we either believe we are better than the other person or lesser. Now, in the spiritual world, we are actually all one. Have you ever noticed that when you're thinking about a friend or a relative for a few days continuously, that person just actually gets in touch with you? This is because our lives are governed by the phenomena of collective consciousness. In other words, we are all one entity, which means that when we judge someone else, we're actually judging ourselves. Now, this may be a little difficult to understand, and I'll delve deeply into it in another video of mine, but in essence, all I'm trying to say is that we can choose to either believe that we're one and stand by and for each other, or we can believe that we're separated and then fight a lone warrior. The choice really is ours. But if we believe that we're all one, then we should start seeing our behaviors and patterns in others too. For example, every time we go to a party, we try and put on our best outfit, right? But in that party, we judge so many others because we believe that they are poorly dressed. Now, if we use the logic of collective consciousness, much like us, the other person too would have tried to put their best outfit on. And who are we to compare our best with their best? Are we the best in everything? No, right? We aren't. We may be good at something and maybe the other person is good at something else. And that is how we are all uniquely beautiful. Now, you may have dressed better, but maybe the other person is able to talk better. Maybe he has a healthier body, or maybe he's happier. So do you know for sure that you don't have any inadequacy as compared to the other person? So why judge? Now, also, if we understand that even if we have too much of everything, some things will always remain out of our control. Can that beautiful dress you're wearing change your destiny? It can't, right? If an illness is to befall or a tragedy is to strike, nothing can stop those things from happening. Which means, in the eyes of the universe, we are all equally vulnerable. And again, if that is the case, then how can we be better than another? How can we be better than another? So our sense of entitlement to the next breath or the lack of it is really the same. I always tell people I would look up to someone if he or she has the power to change my destiny. And since they can't, I feel we're all the same. Now, some of us feel we judge because we feel people can do better, but they don't. Now again, over here, we're sure we know their circumstance completely well. Maybe they're going through something much deeper in their lives, and this may be low priority, or maybe they just don't care. Either way, most often, when we look at people from a place of superiority, we don't convey things kindly. We are rude, nasty, and superior. Now imagine talking down to someone. Can you actually lift them up by talking down to someone? I think we all know the answer to that. Also, are we perfect? No. We've all got our lackings and struggles. I remember this quote by Will Smith: never underestimate the pain of a person, because in all honesty, everyone is struggling. Some people are just better at hiding it than others. Remember one thing, we're called human beings. Of course, in today's day and age, it's just been reduced to a noun that describes our species, but technically we are who we are because we are humane. That is, we have the ability to empathize and feel compassion. I always believe that being humane is more important than being human. And the moment we judge, we say bye-bye to being humane. Now coming back, to the lesson in my meditation, why do they suggest that our lives would be better and fuller and happier if we don't judge? Now here's why. When we judge, we fill ourselves with tons of negativity, either for others or for ourselves. Even when we look down upon a person, we don't really feel good. In that moment, we're experiencing many negative emotions, right? And I'm sure you do understand that negativity has a ripple effect. So even when we're trying to feel superior, we're actually experiencing horrible emotions and also setting ourselves up for more, because negativity brings with it more negativity, right? And since we love to judge, we do that to ourselves also, constantly. Now, we did establish when we think we are superior, we are only readying ourselves for a chain of negative emotions. But we're also doing one more thing, and that is, we're putting ourselves up on a pedestal. And when we are on a pedestal, we forget to look above ourselves. And that also means that we stop trying to make progress or become better versions of ourselves. And this is totally contrary to the essence of our existence that finds evolution to lie at the core of it all, right? And if we're not evolving, we're not stagnant, we're actually becoming lesser. Now, some of us judge ourselves to be inferior than others. We think we're not good enough. And what that leads to is a grave feeling of powerlessness. Ever been present to a moment where you felt inferior to someone or something? What has happened? Didn't you experience this sense of paralysis all over your body? It's like you couldn't move, think, or talk. When we think ourselves as lesser than another, we fill ourselves with self-pity and believe you me, no one became, better by throwing themselves a pity party. Besides, we judge on the basis of what we see on the surface. We have no clue what's happening inside. So if we have to progress in life, the only way it can happen is when our state of mind is positive. So stop judging, be more compassionate to others and yourself. More importantly, work hard to become a better you, someone you're proud of, because the only validation in life that matters is the one that you give yourself. Also remember, in the spiritual realm, we're all one and reflections of each other. So let's be kind and get that in return. If you believe in any of what I've said, please mention this in the comment section below and keep watching 2 Cents by Nishtha Bhatnagar.